जय विष्णुपाद बृहस्पति जय विष्णुपाद बृहस्पति स्त्रोत्र श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jnanamirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shvapadantikam Pandeyam Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarabhishya Kripā Sindhubhyo Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhaktavrindi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Devachalam Pangam Langai Tegirim Nitrapatam Dashigram Naparam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text number 5. Maitri Vacha Pitari Prastiteranyam Pitari Prastiteranyam Atu Priya Chikirshaya Atu Priya Chikirshaya Tasmin Bindu Sare Vats Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsid Sorry. Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsid Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsid Bhagavan Kapilah Kila Bhagavan Kapilah Kila Maitri Vacha Pitari Prastiteranyam Ato Priya Chikirshaya Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsid Bhagavan Kapilah Kila Maitri Vacha Pitari Prastiteranyam Ato Priya Chikirshaya Tasmin Binda Surevatse Bhagavan Kapila Kila
Maitreya Vacha Pitari Prastiteranyam Matu Priya Chikirshaya Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsi Bhagavan Kapila Kila Maitreya Vacha Pitari Prastiteranyam Matu Priya Chikirshaya Tasmin Bindu Sare Vatsi Bhagavan Kapila Kila. Kila Kila.
Maitreya said, Pitari, when the father Prasthiti left Aranyam for the forest, Matav, his mother, Priyachikirshaya, the desire to please, Tasmin, on that, Bindusare, Lake Bindusarovar, Avatsit, he stayed, Bhagavan, the Lord, Kapila, Kila, indeed. Translation. Maitreya said when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of the Bindusarovar to please his mother Devati. Purport. In the absence of the father, it is the duty of the grown son to take charge of his mother and serve her to the best of his ability so that she will not feel separation from her husband. And it is the duty of the husband to leave home as soon as there is a grown son to take charge of his wife and family affairs. That is the Vedic system of household life. One should not remain continually implicated in household affairs up to the time of death. He must leave. Family affairs and the wife may be taken charge of by a grown son. I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. So I seek the blessings of all the devotees. So, actually, human life is meant for only one purpose. Get rid of impurities, realize we are not the body but a soul, realize we are not the mind but a spirit soul within, and go back to Godhead. Awaken the love of God and go back to Godhead. Otherwise, sarira yati iti sariram. Body means that which is going to be slowly destroyed. There is a lot of inconvenience from the childhood itself. Up to 1 year we cannot walk. Up to 2 to 3 years we cannot speak. Up to 10 years we have no idea. Actually, up to 20 years. Up to 10 years playing. Once you are grown up, the body, the hormones start changing, and usually the living entity is agitated by the sex desire to enjoy the senses. But somebody is little spiritual, little sincere, maybe from the previous lives or this life, they meet the devotee. For sure, up till 25, if there is not a devotee, he or she, they have no idea what the life is all about. Life means everyone is studying, I should study. Everyone is making money. Everyone is getting married, I should get married. Everyone is enjoying, I should also enjoy. That's it. But by causeless mercy, we come in contact with the devotee. They tell us, hey, life is this. Otherwise, as soon as you get married, children will come. I think that's how Maya works. I only have children. We take very good care of them. The false ego is the rope that identifies body with the soul. And when the children come from that end, people become very attached. Then what happens? We do not know how we came alone, but one has to live alone. Even if somebody lives 100 years, after 80-90, body becomes invalid. At least 90 years later. One has to be confined to, based on the karma, of course. They'll be confined to bed or they become weak. This is true for everyone. Guru not only trains his disciples how to execute Krishna consciousness, how to prosecute Krishna consciousness. Guru also trains the disciples how to leave the body also. Madhavendra Puri became invalid. And we know how Ishwarapuri took care of him. Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada also, went through the same situation. When somebody is in 10s and 20s and 30s, for them, the old age appears very remote and distant. But what people meditate, they think that is very long time. It's not that much long time. So, there are 8 daridras, 8 miseries. One of the miseries is not losing the husband, losing the wife. Very interesting. Not having money, no education, not having shoes. That is also misery actually. Maybe because India, there are no roads. Every step, you're pierced by these stones. So likewise, one of the misery is these Ashtadaridras. One is losing the wife. Why? Husband doesn't know how to cook. He has no idea. Son is not so very favorable. Daughter-in-law doesn't take good care. And the body is failing. You cannot see properly. The limbs are giving trouble. So every minute you remember how the wife was serving very nicely, actually. But one day I meditated, why it is not vice versa? Because mother gives birth to child, even the daughter-in-law is not so very affectionate. Because of the affection for the son, mother will somehow endure the difficulties. Because she is very well versed with kitchen, she can cook herself. She can manage herself, but father is not like that. That's the reason why Shastras, they explain, out of 8 miseries is losing the spouse. Anyway, so what is that? That's why Anayasa Maranam Ninadaini Jivitam Aradhyata Govinda. Anayasa Maranam. If you take shelter of, if you worship Krishna, you will lead a life. You'll meet very, very simple and safe, smooth death, without panting. And the life goes on very easily. Nina Dainyana. Your life is not a misery. There is no Dainya. Krishna will take care of you. Irrespective of what you are, Krishna will definitely take care of you. That is the advantage of worshipping Krishna. When you worship Krishna, 2 things Krishna will bestow. Janayati asu vairagyam jnanam cha yadahitikam. Vasudeva bhavati bhaktiyeva prayojita. So at right time, Krishna gives you knowledge. Krishna gives you knowledge. At the right time, he gives you renunciation. When you worship Krishna, Krishna gives you 2 things. Knowledge. The temporary nature of the body and the material world, the eternal nature of the soul. If anybody has any interest in Srimad Bhagavatam, or anyway, for the present Bhagavad Gita, or any Vedic scripture, this is what we study. Temporary nature of the body, temporary nature of the matter, eternal nature of the spirit. Temporary nature of the body, eternal nature of the spirit. So again and again we have to hear to become free from that Maya. Otherwise, we are Asangohi, I am Purusha. We are attached to enjoying matter since the time immemorial. Since the time immemorial. After the class is over, we'll all go and enjoy prasad. Because it's prasad, we are purified. But if we eat that as prasad, we should, many times I heard, we should not eat prasad, we should honor prasad. I could never apply that in my life. I would always eat only. Because that attachment for enjoying matter is so high. Kali Yuga conditioned souls. So, but again and again and again we hear, and again we see with that pasyati apasyati. Krishna says, you see but you don't see. What is that? Krishna says, you see but you don't see. Corona alone, Corona claimed 10 million lives in India, 1 crore. Still, no, okay, that's okay. Our behavior is in such a way, we are eternal, that's how we behave. You know, this body is actually, it works directly with nature. We don't even think we are breathing. If you think you are breathing, you have a health issue. If you are conscious of your breathing, it means you have a health issue, for sure. Why? Then only you think you are breathing. So you like, have full control, stop breathing for 2 minutes. You cannot. So this is given to you only to stay there and do certain activity. Hey, look, you don't own this. You are given, you have a lot of roommates, so many roommates. So why I'm telling this is, the temporary nature of the body, the eternal nature of the soul is explained again and again in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then over a period of time, we are convinced, I need to utilize this very carefully so that I can pursue my spiritual life nicely. There is no other purpose. Sometimes people, like, production support, like, you are launching the project in production, 2 months, people work very hard. Like what people work 20, 30 years also. They give their life to the organization. End of the day, if you have not utilized this service, if you have not performed this service for the pleasure of Krishna, it will become only karma, not karma yoga. All the living entities who are working there, they just get their karma. In the next lifetime, instead of working in Indian Railways, you'll work in Google. That's it. You'll take birth again. Making little more money. That's it. All the group as it is. As it is. If not some other, if not like, what is that? You see, as soon as summer comes, the birds, they fly together. This group. Likewise, the groups, Okay, you worked in Indian Railways for 30 years, next lifetime, if a little good karma, okay, come and work in America. So, what is that? When we understand, that's why there should be one person who should renounce, so that he can train people to convert their karma into karma yoga. One person has to sacrifice. By telling, hey, you are doing karma, do karma yoga, do karma yoga. By telling, he'll make progress. By listening, these people will make progress. By telling again and again, he'll understand. When I'm telling means I should also do this karma yoga. My giving class is not, it should be karma yoga for the pleasure of Krishna. If not, what happens? Giving class also becomes karma otherwise. How many of you understand? Now, this is your duty. That is their duty. If I do it for my ego pleasure or for my sensual pleasure, for my mental pleasure, it will become karma only. If you're drinking water, Yamuna, Ganga water, you'll go back to Godhead. All the fish in Ganga should have the passport ready for going back to Godhead. Not every fish will go back to Godhead. Why you are doing it? Yes or no? Yes. That point one should be careful. That's why bhakti, I understood after so many years, very difficult to perform. Bhakti is very difficult to perform. The biggest problem with bhakti is it appears it's very easy. One day, Varsana Maharaj, Radhana Swami, and all the brahmacharis were talking. Environment was very good. Any questions? I raised my hand. I'm chanting 16 rounds. What next? I asked. That Indian mentality. I'm sorry, I'm Indian. Radhana Swami became angry. He gave me left and right. Why he should become angry? I really didn't understand. So, hey, you are thinking, morning I got up, I brushed my teeth, then I took bath, then I finished my rounds. You're considering like this. There's a lot in that 16 rounds, Prabhu. There's a lot in that. Hey, you're considering that as an activity and trying to go to next one. We always see that, right? What next? It doesn't work. I mean, probably you might have seen my ignorance. So to cut through that ignorance, he became angry. I understood after so many years. Why should he become angry? And this is a question an inquisitive question from a seeker. But later I understood. Hey, he's seeing you taking this for granted. So he's cutting through the layers of ignorance. So likewise, we see, 16 hours over, worship, deity worship is over, this is over. Then what next, Prasad? What next then? So I should have my chunk of time. This is only spare wheel, not my steering wheel. Bhakti should be steering wheel. But even if you are doing it full time, you will try to keep this as a spare wheel. And you like to do what you want to do. If it is true that somebody is doing full time in the temple, what to speak of somebody outside? Even an opportunity, you'll chant 3 rounds or you'll hang on with devotees and talk. Three rounds, if you take 7 minutes, 21 minutes, next 20 minutes. But when you talk with devotees, you'll never see, I have spoken for 2-3 hours. Anyone has an experience? And I'll talk to this Prabhu only for 21 minutes. We don't think like that. When you sit and take prasad, next 15 minutes I'll take prasad, then I'll go home. But when it comes to chanting, next half an hour I'll finish my rounds and then I'll go. How many of you agree?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So when you, actually somebody sent, I think Mahatma who sent this article. I'm just quoting from him. So when you give a donation, how much I should give? But when you go to Disneyland, yes or no? When you go to Disneyland, you don't see the barometer there. But when it comes to Disneyland, I have to think of. It's very interesting actually, the mindset. One day I went to somebody's home. You all should know I'm a fundraiser actually, Many people don't know that. These people were telling me how they went to Disneyland. $12,000 itself for tickets. Just flying, family of 4, Then how much they spent there? I was thinking, Arey, you're telling the wrong person. I came to ask you money but I had to, so I told. I didn't tell them, I told, hey, we need this, not for me. You'll be surprised how much I got from that home. You'll be really surprised. I don't want to belittle them. So the point is, this is all because of the attachment to the matter. That's why regularly again and again and again and again hear and read. Chanting, even if you do so many rounds, unless we come and read in the association of devotees, unless we come and discuss, this will not sink in. I'm talking to myself actually. That's why I said, one should listen with an intent to change. That is a true humble listening. Otherwise, I'll go to class 8:15, 9 o'clock, then I'll take prasad, 9:45, then means you've already crossed the class. You already, in your mind, you already crossed it. Means you will not get benefit out of the class because you're not present here. In your mind, you have progressed. When you are chanting, you see your mind. Sometimes it goes to your childhood days, in the past. You know what it means? Anyone wants to add? Your mind is drifting to the past. He is telling attachment. Anybody? What does it mean?
No taste in chanting.
It means I am not enjoying this current right now. I am not enjoying. Mind is telling what you're doing, I'm not enjoying. Future, I don't want to think because it's mystery. Easy for me, let me go and reminisce my past. Simple. But when will you go into the future? When you go into the office. Then you will. Because you need a peaceful time to think of. But here, sometimes mind goes there also. Okay, drama you have to perform. Mind says, I like it. Chalo, how you will perform drama? Mind will go in the chatting, either it will go in the past or it will go in the future. Not stay in the present. So the point is, what is that? Why I'm telling this is all introduction. Saraswati Thakur says, one should be convinced my presence in this world is temporary. My goal of life is to cleanse the heart rather than speaking super high philosophy. These two things. So what you have to do? I want to become free from Maya. Krishna consciousness is not achieved, it is avoided. As we become free from the grip of Maya, then only we, based on that proportion, we go from cleansing to nishta, steadiness. It is not in our hands, it is in Krishna's hands. And another nivritti, cleansing stage, the mind gives so much trouble. Some of you, many of you, you all agree. Sometimes you're agitated by sensual desire, agitated by greed, agitated by lust, pride. Anyone has experience? Sometimes while chanting also. And this is more when you commit offenses. One day I did my dressing in Gaurnatha and Detroit Temple. That time temple was not open. So there was like 10-15 minutes window. So I went, I started chanting before Srinathji, in the Srinathji's house. And, then the attack started. My Lord, what is I'm standing before you and I'm chanting the holy name. I just finished my dressing. It's when Mayavadi writes, world war is nothing before the battle with mind. Like this, like this. I was chanting around right in front of, this side is Hanumanji, this side is Ganeshji, and before is Srinathji, and I just finished dressing. It's a battle. 15-20 minutes. They blew the conch. I did not have got guts to get into the temple hall because the battle was going on. So the point is, what is that? One day one Mother asked me, Maya never attacked you. I said, Maya pulverized me. So made me chutney. But some feedback is not taken, so continuing. I'm still continuing because somebody asked me recently, what is that? They took some interview online. Do you still want to continue? Even if I want to continue next lifetime also, if it is there, I don't want to waste my time, because then she said, how? It all depends on the experiences you get, the realizations you get. There is nothing other than this. Then the question is, okay, engineer means he solves some problems, software person solves some problems by writing programs. What problem does a monk solve? Death problem. Cycle of birth and death. He'll tell you how to come out of that. So you're shocked. What problem? It's a nice question. So you're all engineers, and when we go to office, we solve problem. What problem does monk solve? I said, cycle of birth and death. He'll tell you how to come out of it. Oh, that's good. So anyway, the point is, what is that? When the mind listens to senses, when mind listens to the dictation of senses, Patnam. When mind listens to the dictations of senses, fall down. When mind listens to intelligence, then it is and Paramatma We hear from Paramatma. Then we work. Then the next question, how do we know we are hearing from Super Soul, Paramatma, or we are hearing from senses, our mind? One time on Prabhupada, one day what went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, you came in the dream, Prabhupada, and you told me to take drugs. Prabhupada said, that is not me, that's Maya. Maya came in my form and telling you to take drugs. So when mind is whatever, you really want to know, it is from intelligence, from super soul connection or mind, simple. It should be watched by, attested by Sadhu, Guru and Shastra. Then only you can believe. Otherwise, sometimes mind tricks us, Maya tricks us also. So what is that? The mother, in the absence of father, it is the duty of the grown-up son to take charge of the mother. Today it is not happening. If you go to Radhakund, so many women, widows, they are abandoned by their children. And they just continue and they get a square meal, they get a square meal, that's it. They would not have imagined a life like this, probably 20, 30 years ago. When husband was there, things were going on very well, all children were, were there. So, one story I came up with to tell, but now this Radhakund came, another story came up in my mind. Which one you want to hear? Both will take a lot of time.
Both.
Okay, you have. So I have time, so I'll tell both, but it will be late. But I want to tell both actually. Second one has more morals. First one is a real story. I really do not know how we'll take it. Some of you heard for sure in the past. A real story. I told this a couple of years ago. One day, one reporter was standing Yamuna Expressway. So you know that Chatikara Road? Near Krishna Balram Temple, that road actually. What is it called? Bhaktivedanta Marg?
Yes.
That road. Actually, he was standing there, that this is expressway, this is Bhaktivedanta Marg. So he was standing there, little far away from Krishna Balram Temple. So he saw one lady. So nowadays, not nowadays, this time, and I read this probably 7-8 years now, maybe more. So that lady saw, I think Vrajavasis can figure it out whether they are local or not. He said, she's not looking rich anyway. She's looking poor. But so she said, Radhe Radhe. Oh, she has picked up. He said, Radhe Radhe. So when she came, so she is also a reporter looking for stories. She said, India villagers, they speak. She's looking like a villager actually, from a village. If I stand here, Krishna told me I'll get 10 rupees. He thought, oh, this is a very class way of begging. So you're using Krishna's name. That you're asking 10 rupees. Not today's 10 rupees, those days 10 rupees had value. So he wanted to give some, but not 10 rupees. So he took his wallet out. She said, not from you. Not from you. Krishna said, that person is very young. Oh. So she rejected him. That's when his attention. In less than 5 minutes, one guy was passing by, young man, he turned like this, looked at her, came to her, gave 10 rupees and she left. So this guy was stunned. And he turned back, she was not there. Where did she go? She disappeared. That is when he started looking for her. She's like a middle-aged woman. And one day he saw her again. This time, he saw her again. Should I continue? Interesting.
Yes, very good.
And so Radhe Radhe, yeah. Yeah. If I stand here, Krishna said, he'll give me, I'll get 15 rupees. Okay, he didn't take the wallet out because he knew. In less than a few minutes, when somebody came and so they looked at him, they gave 15 rupees and left. As soon as she got the money, she disappeared. Disappeared means, hey, this time he did not leave her. She was going like an arrow. He was also going, following her. And she went to a medical shop. 15 rupees, you don't get so much actually. So she brought some medicine and she went to, and she passed so many junctions. Finally, she entered the slums. And one place she entered into a small hut. There she gave that money. She gave that medicine. One person was suffering from fever. She gave that medicine. She came out. He said, "Who are you? What is your story?" She said, "Not very pathetic story actually. You really want to hear?" So she said, "Not so much, not a very great story to hear." He said, "I want to hear." She started. This came, he was a newspaper, he was a reporter, so he mentioned it actually in the newspaper. She was actually from UP, Uttar Pradesh, very close to Vrindavan, not maybe 4 or 5 hours. She was not educated. At the age of 10, 12, she was married to a farmer. How many of you remember the story I told? Brahmachari class I told, okay. So she was married to a farmer. Like India is a agrarian country. So she got married and she was used to assisting husband, working in the fields. By hardly 20, she had 4 sons. She gave birth to 4 sons. 4 sons, Indian woman, she would take care of the children. She would dedicate, husband. She did not know anything, very chaste. So, daytime she would go on fields, work. They have a couple of acres, but nothing. They were not struggling for food, but you have to work hard. So why like that? And let me cut the story short. By 40, 45, actually less than 45, she got all children married, daughters-in-law came, So her responsibilities increased. She knew, actually, when you all, only on your life, your children, that's it, right? Uneducated. Now the turn in the life came. So the slowly she started getting one after another grandchildren were coming in. She was hardly less than 45 actually. One day she went to bathroom. She saw some disease. She couldn't understand what it was. And slowly her fingers started melting. And doctor said, this is a leprosy. It's like a bomb exploded. Please listen carefully from now onwards. So when she went and told the family members, till up to 30, 35 years, she just gave her sweat and blood to the children, husband. So when they heard she got this, they all became very scared. First thing is, what will the society say? What will the neighbors say? Second thing is, what can we say? How can we keep you here? So this relationships, everything, I love you, I cannot live without you. I'm sorry to tell you, I meditated on this. One lecture I heard, we are cheating ourselves of that Krishna's love. I mean, I don't have the qualification to say this. I am also like that. So she says, more than the the disease, the family members' behavior pained her. One is her limbs were melting. So leprosy is a bomb. I mean, it's a difficult disease. But then husband stopped talking to her. Children stopped coming to her. And one day she overheard her sons telling, my sons should not, the baby should not go close to my mother. Keep away, keep away. She was a nice devotee of Krishna. My Krishna, my Lord, why are you doing this? I don't know anything but my family. I gave my sweat and blood to my husband, my children for decades. What is this? My Lord, why am I going through this? Please cure this. The disease continued. So one day she confided with her friend. She told, I'm going through this. What should I do? So what they did, they allocated a room to her. She should not come out of the room. And they'll push everything underneath, and she has to eat and everything separate for her. But she continued still. But there is a next step. One day she overheard her children and daughters-in-law talking. Husband was there. My mother should not stay here. Then they all agreed she should be left somewhere. Why I'm telling this is, one day one son told the mother, Mother, I'll take you to Vrindavan. Mother was so happy because after her husband passed away, son was not taking good care of her. So he took her to Vrindavan and he told her, Mother, you stand here, I'll come back. And she waited under the tree for some time. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It became dark. She did not know what to do. Then she realized her son brought her to Vrindavan only to leave her on the road in that old age. So one day one person asked me, should I attend my father's funeral or should I attend the 12th day? As a devotee, I told him, Prabhu, if only your father knew you will ask this 30 years later, instead of investing on you, he would have invested on Krishna only. He did not know that. Now, what can I do? There are no leaves. Hey, look, this is your father. If he had not been present, he would not have been here today. These are the stories of Radhakunda ladies. So anyway, this lady story, so they were talking. I'm sure my mother doesn't want my children to get this leprosy. What should we do? No, but she will feel bad. That's why what we have to do, we have to take care, giving some excuse, and we should let her. We should drop her there and we should leave. Her heart was broken, actually. These are the people I have given life. This love is all skin deep. And I have not, but she prayed, my Lord, why am I going through this? Krishna, my Lord. Then she confided with her friend. So my family, nobody even looks at me. There is no, forget about compassion. They want to get rid of me. What should I do? This lady said, should I continue?
Yes.
This lady said, in Vrindavan, there is a leper's ashram. Go and stay there. So this lady, she went, so one day they pushed the food. The plate did not go inside. Then they understood. She left. They all, family members, they all, breathed the sigh of relief. Wow, without giving that opportunity, she herself left. They didn't celebrate, but they were very happy that they got rid of her. One time, I forgot his name actually. What is his name? Prabhupada disciple came to Niranand and said, Krishna appeared in India, Ram appeared in India, but Narsinghdev appeared in India. But Hiranyakasipu did not take birth in Chicago. Hiranyakasipu also appeared in India. He said that. So, he said that. Hiranyakasipu did not appear in Chicago. He also appeared in. So, the worst demons also. Anyway, you understood what I said? All the incarnations.
Not come to Chicago.
No. He said all the incarnations appeared in India. The worst demons also appeared in India, he said. Not that Hiranyakasipu appeared in Chicago. No, he appeared in India too. So anyway, this lady came and joined this leper's ashram. Actually, there is a continuation to this story, very pathetic. So, lepers cannot go anywhere. But one day what happened? The head of the lepers ashram died. And they did not have money to maintain the lepers. So they told them, leave this place. Where will they go? Like a middle-aged woman. No, we cannot maintain you. We should vacate this place. And she led a life of very life of honor. No struggle for anything, but hunger made her a beggar. She had no choice, but she became a beggar. Sitting on that road, she was one of the beggars. The sad thing, she cannot work because she was a leper. Nobody would bring her, nobody would entertain her. She cannot go any of the temples, though she was in Vrindavan. All the temples she would see from distance because as a leper, she cannot enter. She prayed to Krishna, my Lord, why are you doing this? What is that I have done, Krishna? Please, my Lord. There was not even one day passed without her praying to Krishna, why am I going through this? Cut the story short one day. So lepers have a separate bathing ghat to take bath in Yamuna. They cannot come to the normal bathing ghats. So she went, nobody was there. And she went to take bath. It was very slippery. She slipped and fell in the water. She fell in the water. And before even she realized it, she went deep. She started drinking water. She felt, thank God. Though she was going through trouble, she never wanted to commit suicide. Because she knew the karma will multiply. Let me go through. But now she was drowning. She felt, this is how I can end. It's an accident. And that's how Krishna is finishing her life. But as she was drowning, she saw somebody jumping from the shore. Somebody jumping from the bank into the waters. She saw that boy. When she woke up, they were trying to get water out. They realized she's a leper and beggar. So naturally, they did not want to care much. So as soon as she came to consciousness, my Lord, why you brought me back into this world of suffering? Why you did not let me die? That honorable death. So she got up. All right. And again, I'll be back with my the beggars, leper beggars. When she got up, started walking, then she realized her leprosy is gone.
Hari Bol.
No leprosy. Wow, there is a surge of positive energy. Everything is normal. Hey, it's amazing. I can go and work in the fields, I can go and take darshan in the temples, but something in her heart told her she did not want to go home because of the treatment she got. Now I can go to every temple, I can work, I don't need to beg, Haribol. She started going one temple after another temple. And one day she entered Bankavihari temple. And they opened the temple, curtains. Bankavihari means Krishna temple, one temple. Vrindavan has 5,000 temples. When they opened the curtain, she first time, this is a very famous temple in Vrindavan, she saw Krishna. Then she realized, as she was drowning, about one boy who jumped into the waters to rescue, that was a Bankavihari, Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Cried. She cried and, then she said, she finished. Since then, she said, I get an instruction from Krishna. I want to dedicate my life to serving others. So Krishna tells me who will give me money. And she ended her story. And Krishna tells me who will give money. I just serve people, my fellow, people who are poor or sick, I take care of them. I still have some strength. So I have become an instrument in Krishna's hands. So, what is his name? Avadut Brahmana learned lessons from 24 gurus. One guru is earth. Earth has two aspects. One is mountain, another is tree. From the tree, he learned serving others with patience and tolerance. Mountain, just service. I learned from these two, tree and mountain, how to serve others without expectation. And there, Prabhupada, in Bhagavatam it is written, when you try to serve others, when you live for the benefit of others, to help others, you will go to the pages of Krishna, front pages of Krishna. What is the best thing you can do? Give them Krishna, give them holy name, give them prasad. Give them prasad, speak nicely, or give them beads. They can come out of cycle of birth and death. And one day they'll go back to Krishna. They'll go back to Godhead. Krishna, that time he'll remember, because of this person brought him to Krishna consciousness. He brought me my lost son. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you take a commission for that. That's why the biggest Krishna consciousness is the biggest welfare activity. We don't have any political motives here, convert and increase numbers. We want everyone to experience, and we want everyone to come out of the cycle of birth and death and cleanse the heart and go back to Godhead. When our heart is filled with envy, greed, anger, lust, and pride, we become agitated, but there is no happiness. Or when we satisfy our senses, there is some sensual happiness, which is actually absence of distress. But the real happiness is happiness of the soul. So Kali Yuga, it will become more and more degraded. How many of you liked the story? Amazing, right? Real story. The reporter mentioned that story, actually, he wrote it.
Which year?
Maybe 11 and 12. I'm sure she must be alive now. She's not very old. Even if she is there, she must be less than 60. Maybe between 60, 62, like that.
It happened in 40s then.
She was in mid-40s that time.
Yeah, how did she like disappeared and like walk swiftly?
Disappear means she went fast. Like that. And that's how he writes, right? She went like an arrow. She was going very fast. So with that, any question? Otherwise, we will finish next week. We'll see the other story. Sure.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Another story.
So, this is a different story. Actually, I want to speak this today because I mean, I read the translation last night. Ramanujacharya was, he appeared 1,000 years ago. One day he sent 2 of his disciples to one village. In that village, he had 2 disciples. One person name is Varadacharya, another person name is Yajnesh. So he told them, we are passing by through your village, so we'll stop by at your home when we come. So Yajnesh was a rich man, very well-to-do family, very rich man. So these 2 devotees, when they went and told Yajnesh, Guru Maharaj is coming, on his way to this holy place, he's passing through this village. So we just came to let you know that, there's a possibility he'll come to your home. Many of you know this story, but, I want everyone to hear. So then what happened? Yajnesh became so excited. Immediately started working on, receiving a spiritual master. But then these 2 people, they went to another home. The Prabhu's name is Varadacharya. And he was a beggar. Brahmana would just go, those days, if you're sincere, you will just go and do madhukari, whatever you get, you'll take care of, you'll maintain your wife with that. So when he went, his wife was told these 2 devotees, my husband is not here, but please, we are happy that spiritual master, Guru Maharaj spiritual master is coming. You please go and take bath and come, I'll make prasad ready for you. Husband came and whatever grains he brought, so she cooked for them and she fed them. These 2 devotees became so happy by their hospitality. His wife and husband took very good care of them. They went back and Ramanujacharya asked, tell me your experience. He told Yajnesh and he became so excited. He immediately started taking care of, arranging things. Ramanuja asked, did he take care of you? No. He became so excited. So he started, working on receiving you, he started making arrangements. He did not take care of us. What about the another family? Yes, they took very good care of us. They showed their hospitality. Really? Ramanujacharya said, we'll go to that home. So one day, Ramanujacharya with his so many disciples, they came to this home. He was a beggar. They did not have anything to offer them. So this lady, actually it was a sad story in one sense. This lady, what should we offer? So she went to a grocer. This grocer was very, is a very lusty guy actually. So he has been eyeing at her, making proposals. But she was very chaste. So that day she went and said, look, my Guru Maharaj is here with so many devotees. I want you, please give us some groceries. He said, if you satisfy me, I'll give you. She had no choice. It's all right. But I cannot serve them in a contaminated position. After I serve them, I'll come back. He agreed and gave the groceries. She brought the groceries and cooked for them. And they all, the husband was so happy. Wife brought all the groceries and she cooked, and they all sat and ate. And everyone was very happy. They were melted with the hospitality of this couple. So husband told, amazing, how great you are. Because of you, we could serve spiritual master. Then she started crying. What happened? We don't have anything at home. That's why I went to the grocer and asked for groceries, and he made this proposal. I had no choice but to accept. Husband said, wow, that guy, because of him only we could serve all these Vaishnavas. So definitely please him, should satisfy. But she said, no, I cannot live after that. So they decided to tell this to Ramanacharya. So they told this to Ramanacharya. This is what has happened. Sacrifice. Then why Krishna puts devotees in troubles? Only to bring out their great qualities actually. Ramanacharya said, we heard everything and said, you give my remnants to him. They cooked prasad, offered it to Krishna, and they fed all the devotees. So the Maha is there. Ramanacharya said, feed this person, this prasad, this person who made this lusty proposal. Tulsidas writes actually, married woman is like definitely honey. But where is this honey present? On a knife, on a sword. He doesn't say knife, sword. If you try to lick it, your tongue is cut. Ravan has to lose all his 10 heads because he coveted for Mother Sita. Goddess of devotion. So the husband, no, we should serve him. And he took her to that home. The servants did not allow the husband to go inside, but he took her inside. So she took prasad, she took, with her this prasad, and before you enjoy, I want you to eat. Then after that only we can take part. You can continue. This guy ate. This is Ramanacharya's remnants. As he ate the Maha Prasad, tears started flowing from his eyes and he fell at her feet. See the power of transformation, Hare Krishna. You are so amazing. You're like my mother. I'm sorry that I developed this type of desire. Please forgive me. He fell at her feet. And she said, you should definitely meet my spiritual master. So the husband and wife, Vardacharya and the wife, they brought, name is Lakshmi Devi, I think, and brought him to Ramanacharya. And Ramanacharya, so he fell at the feet of Ramanacharya and asked for forgiveness. Ramanacharya said, we should never do this type of things. Human life is meant for self-realization. One should not degrade by the power of the mind. One should elevate himself. Temptations are dangerous. Uddharet atmanam 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 sadhet atmaiva atmanobandhur atmaiva ripratman. Person who, one has to elevate with the power of the mind, not degrade. A person who can control the mind is the best friend. One who cannot do so, mind remains the worst enemy. Anyway, that person receives initiation actually. He becomes a disciple of Ramanacharya. And he gives a portion of his money to this family. What I want to tell is that husband should be very chaste and should be committed. And wife should be very chaste. Today, the world is becoming so degraded. Chastity is very important. Even if we are fallen in the past, when we come to bhakti, no. One should be chaste to the Guru. One should be chaste in the family. Then only we receive the grace. Draupadi, when she was, when Dushasana tried to disrobe, Draupadi knew that was her last day. Because she cannot, after that she cannot live. Allah says temptations are deadly, dangerous. One has to be very careful. If you have weakness, you should never go in that area of temptation. Because you pay heavy price. Someone has meat eating habit in the past. One should not arrange meetings in McDonald's. As simple as that. Someone has alcohol problem. One should not arrange meetings in bar and restaurants. As simple as that. Should stay away. Someone has problem with opposite sex. One should not hang on with opposite sex as much as possible. Or if you have to hang on, just service only. Better to be safe than to feel sorry later. So, okay, story ended in a positive way. But Ramanuja said, I'll take leave. Then Yajnesh came, Guru Maharaj, you said you are not coming to my home. You should learn to take care of devotees. That day you cultivate that habit. Then I'll come. I'll wait for my Guru to come, then I'll serve. Means you have no affection for Guru actually. See Guru in others. See Krishna in others. Krishna comes internally as Paramatma, externally as spiritual master. But if we see Krishna in everyone's heart, Yamam pasit sarvatra, sarvatra mai pasyati. For that person, Krishna is never lost. And he is never lost to Krishna. Krishna is never lost to him. If we do not cultivate the habit of service, everything will be eventually taken away. One has to understand that. So this lesson, this story has so many lessons. One is the chastity of a man, chastity of woman, Vaishnava Seva, devote Namaruchi Jivadaya Vaishnava Seva. These are very important. So Saint Francis, connection to the previous story. He was a rich man's son, and his father was a merchant. But how do I develop humility? He started sitting on the steps of the church and he started begging. Only to cultivate humility. ISKCON has one advantage. We don't need to beg. We have book distribution, which is another version of actually begging. And he wanted to overcome the bodily platform. One day he went. And there was a leper. He went and kissed the leper. It took a lot of internally, he had to go through a turmoil, actually, a battle. It's not easy to go close to a leper and kiss him. And how to see Krishna in their heart? I really do not know. They have Krishna, but at least, Christ. So he went and kissed the hand of the leper. So the thing is, it's very easy to speak when somebody is listening. Very difficult to apply. Sharira bhavana, bodily consciousness, it's very difficult to overcome. When somebody is in bodily consciousness, lust is very prominent. Envy, other things become very prominent. So that's why book distribution, prasadam distribution, inviting others for prasad and rendering service to them. Brahmacharis should go out and meet more and more outsiders. Then we are able to check our ego. Otherwise, everyone will try to serve Radha Gopiji and Allava. Somebody will put a dot here, somebody put a dot here, somebody will dot. If we are not careful, we are putting a dots on our ego actually. I see that, if you are not careful, that's what is going to happen. Krishna will never come and tell you you're doing wrong. He'll never speak. So rather than doing that, one has to focus on preaching. Otherwise, this will become a family business. That's what I want to speak. Sorry if I spoke anything wrong. Do excuse me as a humble servant. Grateful for your patient audience. So, anyone has any question online? Otherwise, we'll end it right now. So we'll end it now. Thank you very much. Randra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Dandavat
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.